Hi, I'm Alex, part of the customer team here at Shorthand. I'm an English girl based on the Sunshine Coast of Australia. One of the really cool things about working here is that we've got a global team and we really can work from anywhere. But what unites us is we are a bunch of geeks, truly, with art at heart. So join me as I geek out about all the awesome things Shorthand can do for the next, say, 20 minutes. So what is Shorthand? Shorthand is a digital publishing platform for creating stunning web-native content that looks awesome on any screen and that is easy enough for the entire content team to use. So as you can see, we've got a huge variety of organisations, verticals, industries using Shorthand, from brands to universities, government. A lot of arts and culture organisations love to use Shorthand to bring their beautiful assets to life. And it really is for anything that you would previously have published on the web or as a document like a PDF. So whether you are crafting your next impact report or you want to create a stunning digital magazine, Shorthand has got something for you. And as I said, this inspiration feed is just the perfect place to come and get a feel for what organisations are doing. This is an example of some of our most impactful, emotive and high-performing stories. And Shorthand does help you to deliver 10 times higher engagement. And these are some of our, like I said, most successful, most high-performing stories. So definitely come and check out this inspiration feed before you get started. So you want to get started on Shorthand. This is how you're going to do it. We're going to go into the top right-hand corner, click New Story. You can section your workspace off into different teams. That's just so you can keep work separate and no one can see what the other team are working on. So once you've chosen your team, you are going to choose to start your story, and you've got a few different ways that you can start. The first is to create a blank story, which is what we're going to do today. You can also choose from one of our stunningly gorgeous, beautiful templates made from our in-house designers. They're sensational and they're a really, really great way to peer behind the curtain. So you've got your inspiration feed where you can kind of see what some of the best work is across our customer base. But then here is where you can come in and peer behind the curtain, because it's going to open up here for you in the editor itself. So you can go in and look at all those different sections and work out how they were created. You can also import from either a web page or a PDF. But as I mentioned, I think I'm going to get started with a blank story. So to start a story, you need to add a section, and a story is made up of several sections that you'll put together in order to create your structure of your story. And this is really where you can create the magic. So a lot of the sections are pretty self-explanatory, like text and text over media, but sections like the reveal is where you're going to be able to kind of bring your assets to life, to create animations, showcase video. You can use scroll points to create movement in a single image. And yeah, all the way through to creating your own immersive charts and graphs within the platform. So when you get started though, you can also set up your workspace to have your own templates in there. Now, this is for the requirement. Say, for example, you've got lots of people using the platform, but you want to ensure your branding and structure of your content remains consistent across all the stories that you create. This is how you can achieve that. So you can save great work to your workspace, share it with others, but you can also as well ensure that everyone's on the same page and starting from the same point by creating your own sections within the platform itself. So I'm going to create my first story. Now, there is no one way to start a story. So with Shorthand, you can create your story using any section. Today, I'm going to start with a text over media section. Awesome. So when you create a section within Shorthand, it will pre-populate with either an image or some data, just so that you can go behind the scenes and see what's going on. First then, I'm going to upload my image for my title section, which is here. One thing to note when you are uploading any images into Shorthand is you can always see how your content is going to look across your different screens and devices. So in this example, you can see I'm loving my desktop version. However, I'm not vibing this mobile version. So rather than having to kind of change the whole image or stress out about resizing it for mobile, you can just go in and set the focus of that image. So it might be that I want to change it to there and I'm a bit happier with that. Might want to bring it down a little bit and have that to be the main focus, which I think does work really well. So I'm going to keep that there. So now I've got my two versions. I've got desktop and mobile, both looking great, and it's taken a matter of seconds. So I'm just going to load that data. Okay, so for the next section, I'm going to add another text over media section. It's probably one of our most popular section types because of what it allows you to do. And I'm going to demonstrate here how you would go ahead and create a 3D image. So the nice thing about this example is I have got a static image. I am going to give it some movement, and I'm going to do that really quickly and simply by creating and generating a 3D image there. So I just sit back and relax while the magic happens. And with shorthand, we do like to say there is an ease of wow to everything. So you can really just get on and focus on the fun stuff, which is bringing your wonderful content to life. So as that 3D image is generating, I might change the color here. Now, as you might have noticed, I've actually got some pre-populated, as you can see, I've got some pre-populated colors in there. I might just quickly show you how I've done that. So up here within the theme section, you actually have the ability to create your own themes. That's where you can add things like, choose from one of our Google fonts. You can set up your logos, favicons, and then also build out your colors as well for the story. So you've got your color palette. I've already done that and applied my theme to my content, but this is definitely a first step. My apologies, I've gone back too far. This is definitely a first step when you first get started on the platform, is creating those themes. So you can quickly, easily edit your content as you're working through, like I'm doing. So now you can see then that I've given myself some movement there with the hands moving, which looks fantastic. Now I want to create an infographic, but I want to do it within shorthand itself. And I'm going to do that using the grid section. So let's go in there and start creating an infographic. So all I'm going to do for that is upload a selection of images here. Awesome. And then I'm going to delete this. So then I'm just going to copy over some text. So everything's copied over. And I've very, very quickly and simply created my own little infographic within shorthand itself. Okay, so the next section that I want to share with you all is the reveal. This is one of my favorite section types from within shorthand. As you can see from the data that we've preloaded for you here, it's a case of adding a selection of images and or videos into this section. You can choose to add a transition or not, and the effects are different, and I can show you some examples in a second. So super simple. I am going to add an image here, save, and a second, save. Perfect. So image number 1 has slightly less information than image number 2. And then what I'm going to do is choose the transition between those two images, which will then the reader will control as they scroll, which will give the feeling from the reader that they're in control of an animation or, the transition between images. So if I pop that fade on there, super simple. I've now got that transition in there. It looks wonderful, but that's a very, very simple way of using it. Let me share some more examples of this section type in action. This is from the Centre for Strategic and International Studies, which is just the beautiful use of that transition between images. I also love this, which, from Klein Zeitung, which is a company based in Germany. And they use this is kind of what you can do. This is kind of, pushing the boundaries of the feature for sure. But here is a selection there of lots of images being used to create the effect that the reader is in control of an animation, when really we're just in control of those transitions, which gives it that feeling. Sensational. Next up, I'm going to share with you a scroll point section. So the complexity of the reveal can be as simple or as complex as you like, as I hope I've just demonstrated. What I love about scroll points is it is just one image. So yeah, it's a lazier feature for me, although it's beautiful. It's definitely one of my favorites for that reason. So we need to change the base data again with an image that I like. Here I go. Awesome, happy with that. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a frame, and I'm just going to do one because we are pushed for time slightly. But I'm going to highlight this image here. You can choose, once you've highlighted part of the image, because it's going to zoom into it, you can choose whether the line that you've drawn, the line is solid, dashed, flashing, or it kind of draws around it, which I'll do for this piece. And so you can just kind of repeat that. So if I close that, copy it, go in and edit the work. Just move this along one. Lovely. And then the same in here. Move this along. Save myself a little bit of time there. Done. Perfect. Happy with those. And so now I've got my one section that I've obviously got to kind of match that up and make it perfect, but you get the impression there. I've created some movement with just one still image. And if I just show you how that works as well across some of our customer base, this is the Quint, who do a spectacular job of bringing their content to life using Shorthand. Here they've used a scroll point section, starts now. So again, rather than having separate images, they've added all of their images to one larger image, and then the scroll point section kind of moves between those images, breaking down the information into easily digestible pieces and just making the whole thing so much more engaging. You can't possibly be in that environment reading that story and not want to keep scrolling. And also as well, and what I did want to share this from Adweek, this is halfway through the story, apologies, but I also just wanted to share this. Actually, scroll points is a really good way to achieve that horizontal scroll as well, which is definitely something that a lot of storytellers are looking to achieve. Okay, so last up, I am going to show you how to create a chart section. That's my workspace one, so let's use the Shorthand workspace example. So you can now create immersive charts and graphs from directly within Shorthand itself. This is a very new feature, but it really does help you to bring to life the narratives behind the numbers, which is so different from other platforms and what you can achieve in other platforms. If you imagine if you have a graph, in the body of a story that you've created, it really is, the onus is on the reader to kind of really study that graph and link the text and the data on the graph together. But with Shorthand, you can now very, very simply and easily, using the Shorthand section types, using the text sections that you can add over the graph itself, it means you can highlight different pieces of the data, explain them, contrast them, compare different sets. So essentially, because as well the reader is coming along this journey with you, you can really bring this data to life with the text and whatever it is you decide to display over here as well. So if I just jump in and quickly show you how it works. So once you've uploaded your base data, it's pre-populated again with some shorthand data. So you can just, start from there. So if we copy this first set of data, and I just want to build on that for my next frame. So let's say this is 90, okay, and also we want to have a data label at the top, and we also want to change the color to highlight that as well. Awesome, fabulous. So that's done. So now I can go ahead and talk about this change in the graph. That shorthand handles the animation between the different frames as well, so you can just focus on the storytelling aspect. Awesome. Now, I did just want to add a couple more bits, but I've got them saved in my workspace. So I create this annual report every year. So I have got a table that I always use to talk about the financials. So I can just go in and change the financial information there each year. I'm just going to put that below my, just drag that below my graph. So now that I have finished the first draft of my story, I want to get some feedback from the rest of the team. So all I'm going to do is hop into this work together option, and I am going to say invite Manuela to my story. Now, what we can do is collaborate on this piece together. So within the comments section, I can @ Manuela into comments about different sections or on about different passages within the section as well. Add those comments, and then Manuela can then go in and reply, and we can also mark that as resolved or delete the comment. So we can collaborate together on this content. So publishing is super simple. So you can either publish to a shorthand stories subdomain, custom masked subdomain, you can embed, or you can choose one of our self-hosting publishing options. So either directly to a WordPress or Drupal plugin, or via S3, Azure, or SFTP. If you are publishing via the embed, which is one of the most popular publishing options, you simply publish to this URL. And then you've got your copy story URL. You've got your copy story embed code here, which you then copy and paste in your content management system. So super simple. And then same, very, very simple if you wanted to push this out to one of our plugins. So you just click prepare, and now that story will show up within WordPress and Drupal, what you've got set up as, essentially. So here is my finished story. It looks beautiful. It's fully responsive across desktop, mobile, and different screens. Something to note, Shorthand is ISO 27001 certified, as well as SOC 2. So we do have enterprise grade security. So yes, that's definitely something worth mentioning to any IT teams who have questions. Let's jump in and talk quickly about analytics. So if we go back into the editor, you can see here I've published my story. We've got one view there, so we can start taking a look at the analytics. When you get started on Shorthand on certain plans, we will actually set you up with a branded theme. And in that during that process, we can tie in your third-party analytics, as well as pulling through all of your fonts and colors and logos. So this is an example of Shorthand analytics though. So you can track views, desktop versus mobile views, completions, and average time spent on page. So that's everything from me today. Thank you for sitting with me. And like I said, we are always here to help. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to one of the team.